Hello, I'm Jerry Voitala, and welcome to Take 5 with GFPI. In today's episode, I'm speaking with Director Jamie Clover Adams, and she's the director with the Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development. Prior to becoming MDARD's director, Ms. Clover Adams has worked in various government leadership roles for nearly 25 years in two state capitals as well as in our nation's capital. She has served in both the legislature and executive branches, as well as for several business trade associations covering a broad range of issues. She is speaking today at Michigan's Food and Agriculture Border Gateway Summit, a seminar focusing on the international border issues facing the food and agriculture sector, specifically the U.S. and Canadian border. Director Clover Adams, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jerry.
What does our current food and agriculture relationship with Canada look like?
Well, it's a really great relationship. Jerry, as Council Norton said in the opening of the seminar, we have almost balanced trade, $1 billion on each side coming and going across the Canadian-U.S. border. It's a very strong relationship. We get along well, and in our department, we have several organizations that work together on the regulatory level to create systems approaches that allow product to move freely between the countries.
Okay, well, that's a little bit about the relationship. What are some of the food and agriculture issues that our two countries face?
Well, I think like many relationships, there are issues at times, but there's a very strong supply chain between Michigan and Canada. And we're always working together to keep pest pressures down, to look at animal and plant diseases and make sure that we're not sending something to their country or they're not sending something to our country. But we have a $1 billion trade relationship that we need to continue to foster while protecting public health and the environment.
I see. Okay. And are these just government issues, or are there issues facing the private sector as well?
Well, I think for the private sector, it's more maneuvering around or maneuvering through the government requirements and making sure that they're following the rules that each country, we have our rules for a reason, and that each country has. So I think that those are their issues, but they would like to see more opportunities for them. You know, the world is growing. We'll have 9 billion people or more by 2050. Those people are getting richer. There are opportunities for our region that includes Canada to sell product, and Canada's the gateway to get there, and so we need to be cognizant of the things that they want us to do.
Right. And how do you envision the relationship between Michigan and Canada in the future?
Well, I think it's just going to get stronger. I think there's a lot of goodwill on both sides. We have a slight trade relationship to take care of with regard to the sale of meat products in the United States, but I'm confident that that will be taken care of. I think they see the same opportunities that we see, and I think the strong relationship between the two countries that's been there for decades and potentially a century or more because of our proximity, because of food and agriculture's reliance on the Canadian market. We all have a reason to grow that relationship and to make it be stronger. And I think there's a lot of goodwill that we can build on and continue to create systems that allow an even freer flow of trade while keeping in mind our public health and environment responsibilities.
Well, thank you very much, Director Clover Adams. And that's it for this episode of Take 5 with GFPI. We'll see you next time.